Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys and Magic. This is Hunter, Steven, and Shane. So, what up, guys?
What up, guys?
What's up, nerds?
We're back with another episode of Commander Grades. That is right. If you guys are new here, you don't know what this series is, we go ahead and talk about all of the legendary creatures from the set. This one in particular is Duskmourn. We talk about all the legendary creatures as a potential commander, a helm of a deck. Would they be good? These are our opinions, so it could be different than yours, but these are just our opinions. So let's go ahead and get started. We are doing the monocolored today. If you guys wanted to see the multicolored or the pre-con ones, those will be in separate videos. If you're watching this video at a certain time, maybe check the description and those videos will be out by then. If not, stay tuned, stay subscribed. This first one, we are going through the white ones first. It's the Wandering Rescuer. It's 2 white for a 3/4 legendary creature, human samurai noble. It's got flash and it's got convoke and it has double strike and it says other tapped creatures you control have hexproof. A lot going on.
I mean, you said "and" a couple times, but like, does it? I don't think it does have a lot going on.
Yeah, it's funny. You said a lot going on, and I'm like, man, a lot of vanilla going on, it feels like.
Call this French vanilla.
French. Oh,
I think
okay.
it's a pretty good card.
I would not agree with, or not. I don't disagree with you. It's not a good
I
command.
do.
No, it's a good card.
Yeah, sure.
What? Like this would
Convoke
be
is very
insane
powerful.
in a convoke. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but I mean, I just, as a commander, this is so, it's so telegraphed.
Oh, my
Like,
God,
there's
yeah.
no, it's almost pointless.
Is it telegraphed or is it manipulating the way people think? Because they think you're going to cast this as the flash cost, but it could be a different time. And they're working around you because you might be doing something, but really you're working around them.
Mm,
Telegraphed.
yeah, I
Mind
don't know.
games.
I also don't think like, unless you're playing with a bunch of vigilance people, bringing out this guy means you're not attacking. So it's like, what's going on here? I feel like this would be fantastic in a convoke deck, but probably not at the helm, in my opinion.
I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like you mentioned you're probably not attacking, but you if you are attacking and this on the field, they all have hexproof.
That's true.
Yeah.
Cool.
Board
Hexproof
wipes
doesn't
don't
start
protect
board.
from
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
cool.
there are not that many board wipes at instant. I get it, but
I mean, it doesn't really need to be at instant speed. I mean, somebody's playing a board wipe on, somebody else's turn. It doesn't really matter, but
I get it. Dies to removal.
no. I'm just saying that it's just doesn't do enough for me to tell, like,
yeah.
for me to make it my commander.
Like, maybe indestructible would have been nice.
Sure, I guess. I don't know. I think it's trying to do the thing that the Wandering Emperor did as a card by dealing with tapped things and also flashing in, and I think it's a cool card.
Yeah. You want to
But
play
I
with a
will
double
agree with you
striker?
guys. Yeah, I will agree with you guys that it's probably not as powerful as a base commander, but it's probably going at a 99 somewhere.
100%.
Mm.
You don't agree, Steven?
I mean, I see it going in maybe one deck.
Okay.
Well, let's
I
go
mean,
ahead
there
and
was
move
the
on.
Convoke, the Jeskai Convoke deck.
That's a good deck. Yeah, throwing that one. Let's go ahead and move on to the grades then, Steven. We'll start with you. What are you giving the Wandering Rescuer?
It does something, so it gets a D.
I don't think I'm going to go that low. I think I'm actually going to give it a C. I think it's middle of the road.
I think it's more of a D as a commander, in my opinion.
All right. Well, between the three of us, the Wandering Rescuer gets the average grade of a D. Next up is Toby, Beastie Befriender. It's 2 and a white for a 1/1 legendary creature human wizard. It says when it enters, you create a 4/4 white beast creature token with this creature can't attack or block alone. And as long as you control 4 or more creature tokens you control have flying. That's
Hey,
cool.
you're the token guy, Hunter. Yeah.
So 3 mana for 2 bodies, 5 power total. Granted, you have to swing with something else with the 4/4, but let's say you have other token creatures. Now they're all flying, and that's going to come pretty mean.
Yep.
This is pretty solid. I mean, it's basically just like a token blink deck in
Blink.
the perfect colors.
Yeah, you're right. I guess because it makes a 4/4 non-legendary white beast, so
Mhm.
can make a multiple. I don't know. I think the idea is cool, but is it that strong?
Yeah.
you're playing
Why?
tokens, it's pretty strong, dude. Because like
Mono
with
white tokens.
that's which is fine. That's a very
And
doable archetype. I'm just saying when you're playing tokens, it's kind of a bummer because typically your little 1/1s and whatever get blocked by everything. So now they get like that evasion's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate, okay?
I get
We're
it.
all on board. We all like this card a lot. I mean, you
I
can
get
put
it.
Ozure Talk in this, and you can make triple the amount of beasts. You can
Yeah.
put, I don't know, Delny in this. And Delny is going to make that trigger happen twice.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of ways just to make this deck go crazy. But mono white, I think, hinders it just a little bit. I would love it for being that
Maybe.
one more color
Yeah.
because, ooh, that would be cool. But I am a fan. 3 mana comes down early. It is a 1/1 though, so you have to be careful with just a ping and you die.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
I
You
don't
don't
even
want
think
to
I'm that
attack.
worried about it.
No, I mean I guess you do want to cast it again unless you're flickering it. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, right, if you're swinging with all your creatures, like, oh, I have flying, and they're just like 1 damage to your commander, and now they're on the ground.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotta
But
be
I mean, the cool thing about that is, although yes, you're worried about 1 damage being done to the commander, with this being in white, and in my opinion, this is a blink, kind of style deck. There's a bunch of instant speed, like ephemerate, or kind of like effects like that, where you get to just say, "Oh, you thought you had it," and then they don't,
Hmm.
and then it enters, and then you get another 4/4.
It's true.
Could be fun.
Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. Steven, you sound pretty high on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna throw it all the way up to a B. I think that's pretty solid. I think the only thing stopping it from me giving it an A is another color.
I'm actually going to agree with you 100%. I think this is a B as well.
Well, look at me over here. I felt like I was high on this at a C, but we're gonna stay at a C.
Well, the Beastie Befriender gets the average grade of a B. Moving on to the mono blue legendaries from Duskmourn, it's the Mindskinner. It is 3 blue mana for a 10/1 legendary enchantment creature Nightmare. It says it can't be blocked, and it says if a source you control would deal damage to an opponent, prevent that damage, and each opponent mills that many cards. Steven, you are our resident
Steven.
mill player. Yes.
Just melted in my seat.
Yeah.
Seems like a good card for you, right?
Absolute banger.
Now the question is, good card or good commander?
Both.
Good commander.
Would you put it as a commander or would you put it in Bruvac?
I mean, I think you could go either way. I mean, I think that it's two different kind of styles, because I think that you can build this as a Voltron card, which is really funny, and then you really just smack it in for a bunch. I honestly adore this card, because I think you don't have to just go that straight mill strategy, but you're in mono blue, so you have all that protection for this card. I'm in love with it.
Yeah, this card is nuts, dude. What slows down mill and EDH? Having to
Dealing
do
it only to
Yeah,
one person.
exactly. And this card's like, what do you mean? It's everybody. Like, this is insane.
Yep.
This is nuts.
The fact that this comes down, and let's just say that we're playing on curve, we play Lightning Greaves on turn 2, this comes down turn 3, we crit, and boom, like you're milling for 40 essentially. Like, sorry, 30, my bad. Like, it's insane, man.
Yeah. And that's only if you attack with this guy. Like, it's any source.
Yeah. So that's where I kind of falter. As much as I like this card, and I really do like this card, I don't see it as that strong of a commander still, even though, yeah, okay, it's each opponent. The reason is you are getting rid of all that damage. So your only strategy at this point is to mill out 100 cards. I mean,
Totally.
97 cards of each opponent. Or no.
I mean,
that's
that is
super low.
hard.
90
That is hard to do.
92 cards. Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% all in on this strategy, but like this card is good for that. Like this card is all in.
Yeah, I get that. And another thing that falters with this card is 1 toughness. Just one little peek, gone.
It's 3
Cast it
mana.
again. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it'd be a shame if there was a color to protect it.
I'm
Like,
just
you
saying,
mean like
man.
counters and stuff, dude? What?
One little
dude.
ping. That's all it takes.
I get it. Nope, it dies 100%. Stupid easy. You won't have a problem recasting this 5 times a game.
No.
Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. Steven, you are the mill player. How high are you on this?
Hey.
I feel like if there was an S tier, Steven's up there.
Oh, dude, if there was an S tier, I'd throw an S on this 1,000% of the time.
You're wrong. It's middle of the road for me. It's a C.
You know, I put on like a shocked face. Not sure why I did that. Hunter doesn't like blue. I like blue. It's the B.
All right. Well, the Mindskinner gets the average grade of a B. That was the only mono blue. Time to go to mono black. It's Valgavoth, Terror Eater. 6 and 3 black for a 9/9 legendary creature, Elder Demon. It's got flying, it's got lifelink, it has wards, sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. It also says if a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Valgavoth. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. Boom. This is a huge card.
I heard you like graveyard recursion. Here we go.
Yeah, that would be the ideal strategy, right? Kind of recursion or like a life gain type thing.
Yeah, because that mana cost is nuts for a commander.
Yeah, nine mana is a lot. And you better be doing some other things leading up to that are pretty powerful as well, because you're going to be sitting there for a while in mono black.
I mean, I just don't know what to really think about this card. I mean, I think that it's got a really cool effect. I just think as a commander, unless you're playing a bunch of fast mana, which one got banned, I think that, it's tough to cast this. And just like Hunter said, you're not really doing too much. You could ramp with like rituals and cantrips like that, but I really think that this is way better in the 99 of a deck that wants to play recursion. And I think that's where this card's strength lies, because I mean, you can just bury it alive, or you can do entomb and just cast it from the graveyard in that kind of fashion with like a reanimate style effect or animate dead. And I kind of think that's where this card wants to be at. I don't think this is really played in the helm.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is a lot better in the 99. It's a lot easier to throw into the grave if it's in the 99, because getting a card from the command zone into your graveyard is pretty difficult to do.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, you could do it in graveyard recursion, but I'm also looking at Kalia, once again, cheating it in. But anytime you want to pay that 9, I think we're all on board. That sucks.
Yeah, and then it dies and you have to pay 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
dude.
granted, most likely eating a board wipe. I mean, someone at the table is going to have to take a bullet for the entire table. And that's like, let me help everybody else at the table by sacking 3 of my own non-land permanents to get rid of this. So, might be a little bit hesitant on the whole getting rid of the spot removal. So,
I mean, I don't even think that that's a case, to be honest with you, because I mean, like, let's just say you're playing this on curve. Dude, by turn 9, like, could you imagine all the permanents on the board if there's like no, like, I feel like on turn 8 you're playing a board wipe to then hopefully play this on turn 9, so there's nothing for them to use the sack.
I understand that, but if you're saying it's on curve, most people like their stuff hanging around.
By
Still
turn
gonna
9
be-
we should have won by now.
I was gonna say, if we're
Yeah.
playing on curve, the game's over when you play this card.
Yeah. Sometimes it is. But let's go ahead and move on to the grades. I'll kick us off. I can see that it's a powerful, powerful card, but like at 9 mana is where it really struggles, and that is why I'm going to give it middle of the road. It's a C.
I don't even think I could go middle of the road, man. I think the fact that this is 9 mana, even though it is so powerful, I think that unless you're throwing a ton of money into this deck, it's not going to function that well. And I think that's why, and I'm going to catch a lot of slack, but I'm going to give this an F as a commander.
Wow.
You might catch a little bit of slack. I was gonna catch some slack because I'm down at the D range, but it's all for the same exact reasons you all said. Like, we're all in agreement this card is nuts. I just don't know if I would be brave enough to play as a commander.
Yeah, for you at home, if you guys disagree, comment down below. Always interested to hear your guys' opinion. But for us, the average grade for Valgavoth is going to be a D. And once again, that was only one for mono black. Moving on to mono red. One of these as well. Norin, Swift Survivalist. 1 red mana for a 2/1 legendary creature, human coward. It says Norin, Swift Survivalist can't block. It also says whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may exile it. You may play that card from exile this turn. Kind of doing the
Cool.
old Norin thing, where
Yeah,
it
but-
goes into exile and comes
Yeah.
back.
The
But
old
it's doing
Norin was
something
way
else.
gnarlier though, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
You couldn't interact with it, period. But yeah. Cool, I guess. I don't know. What are you doing with this deck?
ETBs, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sucks because like you exile the card and you have to basically play it again. It's got to use that mana. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can. I don't know, man. Like,
What?
Yeah.
Blink Dockside? No,
no.
can't do that anymore.
Put this
Also-
in Prosper.
This card though is at the whim of your opponents because it needs to become blocked. So it's like, oh, it's not gonna block. Like, all right, cool. My deck just, I guess it's still doing damage.
We're still doing damage.
Yeah.
It's whenever a creature, so it's any of your creatures. You could just be like,
Oh, yeah,
all
I know.
right. I mean, something you could do is just wait until they announce blockers, and then if your power is not enough for that thing that just got blocked, or if they do try to like hit you with a combat trick, you'd be like, all right, I'm taking this out.
Very true.
Granted, you have to do it in response to it becoming blocked, because once you pass priority, then they can do the combat trick, and you're bummed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Norin tries to do the Norin thing, but new. I
Not-
get why it's in this set.
I'm not quite sure I'm here for this one.
I mean, I'm kind of here for it because I mean, obviously, there's a lot of fun like ETB style stuff in mono red. I do like it just because now that one monkey's gone, we do have the other one. We have Ragavan. So I mean, usually everyone's always so afraid of it getting blocked, but now you can just basically exile it, cast it again for 1 red, and then hopefully wait around for the next turn. But I mean, Perforos is a good card that could go in this deck. I mean, obviously you got those beautiful pings and stuff like that, but I mean, it's so weird.
I think it's better than 99.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like there's
I'd
a bunch
rather
of cool
play
things.
the old Norin.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like what? Because that thing you just can't interact with.
Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. I'll kick us off. Norin, this version of Norin is getting an F for me.
I'm gonna go up 1. I think I'm gonna go to a D on this, which sounds insane after giving Valgavoth an F. Now that I think about it, but I'm gonna give this a D. I think it's got a memey kind of like fun effect that I might want to play around with, but I don't know.
Hey, look, you went up a grade because the last one cost 9, this one cost 1. Makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Shane.
Yeah. I'm also giving it a D.
Yeah. Norin, Swift Survivalist, gets the average grade of a D. Time for some mono green cards. First up is Altanak, the Thrice-Called. 5 and 2 green for a 9/9 legendary creature insect beast. It's got trample, and it says when it becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. It also has another ability where you can pay 1 and a green, discard it, return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Which is
All right.
pretty
So this
much
is going to be a quick one, right?
flavor text.
Yeah. This goes great
Seven-
in many decks, but not as a helm.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
This is 7 mana for a 9/9 trample that says if you try to use spot removal, I'll get to draw a card.
It's true. That's all it says, though.
It is all it says.
I think in a green.
Hey, man. At least it's not all your creatures and not twice a turn.
You're right. They
Yeah.
learned their lesson.
This is, this is, you can't even target yourself, okay? You have to
Yeah.
wait till your opponent targets this.
Yeah.
But this is bad as a commander. Just going to say it. It's bad. Don't play this one, please.
Put this
You open
in
it,
something.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's super
Yeah,
cool.
and then this is a legendary for limited. This is a legendary for standard. Anything but EDH. It has say its name, which means you can go and get this if you play say its name 3 times, which you can't do in Commander.
It's true.
But yeah. Let's move on to the grades.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Altanak, for me, is an F.
It's an F.
I think we're just gonna all be on board with this one. It's an F.
Oh, look at us. Agreeance for once. It's Altanak. The average grade of an F. All right, moving on to a better mono green card, in my opinion. It's Kona, Rescue Beastie. 3 and a green for a 4/3 legendary creature, Beast Survivor. It has survival, which means at the beginning of your second main phase, if Kona, Rescue Beastie is tapped, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Shane, this card's nuts.
I love this card. I loved it when it was spoiled. I loved it when we saw it. I built it. I think this card's awesome, dude. I think the fact that you can just tap this thing and drop anything is kind of nuts, dude. Like, it's just people are gonna underestimate that. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you're gonna just like what, dude? You can't. You have to wait. You have to attack." No, you don't. You build this. You build this deck to where you play Kona. Something's already on the field to tap Kona the minute it's out. So the minute you're playing Kona, you're dropping something, and then from then on, you're being probably mean. People might not like that, but it's just a green deck, dude. Like when you're playing this, you're just playing big stompy green, dude. It's really fun.
Yeah, you can do that on pretty much turn 2. Turn 1, ramp. Turn 2, play a, I don't know, a vehicle, and then play this, and then crew the vehicle. And then you drop a Portal to Phyrexia.
Yeah. I think Steven made the joke, dude. You play Ring Leaf Drum. You don't have to even play a vehicle. You play a bunch of different things that tap your commander.
I mean, there's so many things that tap.
So many.
Legendary permanents. Tap and untap, too.
Yep.
Card's nuts.
Yeah. I think the only downside here is like you need to balance the deck out because you want big baddies, but then you don't want to only have big baddies. So it's like a bit of a balancing act. You're probably never going to cast them. You're always going to probably rely on tapping Kona, but
I also feel like you have to run a good amount of green hexproof cards. Got to give this hexproof. Like people are going to hit this with removal pretty consistently because of just how scary of a threat it can. Like, oh, it's tapped. Second main phase. Blightsteel Colossus.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent though of like the last two commanders from Bloomborough. I know Steven played one and I played one where they both did similar things of like cheating out big things from your hand. This just does it with like no downside, which is kind of nuts.
I'm gonna say Kona Rescue Beastie is the reason Jeweled Lotus got banned.
You think so?
This could come out turn 1, right? You
Yeah,
play
but there
one
was some...
forest and Jeweled Lotus.
Dude.
You crack Jeweled Lotus. That's 4 mana. Boom, Kona. Turn 2, swing.
Nah.
And then play something.
Nah, there were
So
many
here's the. I mean, I don't think this is why Jeweled Lotus got banned number 1. I just think I like Kona, and I understand that it's a little bit better than the card I'm about to say because it's cheaper mana, but you're mono green. So ramp is a thing. I feel like I kind of like Galta, Stampede Tyrant from Ixalan, just a little bit more.
No way. I think
you're dumping every creature in your hand rather than just one.
Yeah, you can also just drop Galta with this card and then same thing.
Sure, but like, why not just have the one? Right? Like, why jump through that extra hoop just to do this?
Because this is cheaper.
I think this makes you not the threat as much, dude. You do what you're talking about, dude.
I don't think. I understand your thought on it, Shane, but like, I think that when you see this card at the table, when you read what it does, there's no like nobody's gonna think that you're not a threat. Nobody's gonna think that you're just putting something down. This is a threat. No, you're not.
Bro,
like I know you. You're gonna drop a Void Winnower turn 4.
I maybe have that in the deck.
I know you do, because like you're not a nice person.
It's gonna be such a fun deck. If you're going to Vegas, by the way, I'm gonna play this in Vegas, so come see it.
I'm gonna build a deck that specifically just has like destroy creature cards.
Destroy creatures.
Oh, this card's so good, dude.
Oops, all board wipes. Yeah, this card's nuts. Let's move on to the grades. Shane, what are you giving it?
I'm not even a green player, and I'm giving this an A, dude.
Yeah, I'm actually in agreement 100%. This is an A for me as well.
Oh, man.
Do it, Steven.
I can't. I'm going to give this a B.
Ah.
No, I can't, because literally without this card on the field, your deck kind of does really nothing.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of big scary things.
I was going to say, you're still mono green ramping pretty hard into
You're still mono green ramping, but I mean, it's just like most of the time I feel like people are building this deck with this card in mind. And even though they will build ramp, I don't think they're going to build it to the point that they need to. And I don't think I just this card's going to catch a lot of hate, and I can't give it an A in that respect.
Well, we'll see at the end of the month, Steven.
I mean, I told you what I'm going to do. Anytime you whoop this deck out, I'm just going to whoop out a deck that just destroys creatures.
MagicCon Vegas, everybody. We'll be there. But Kona
Shane's going to
Rescue
hate
Beastie.
you.
Kona Rescue Beastie gets the average grade of an A. Next up is Tyvar the Pummeler. It's 1 and 2 green for a 3/3 legendary creature elf warrior. It says tap another untapped creature you control. Tyvar the Pummeler gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. Also has another ability where you can pay 3 2 green. Creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Good card, good.
This card is good.
This card sucks.
Shut up. Why does this card suck?
Because there's so many better mono green elves. Like, it's stupid, dude. I don't think I've ever liked a single Tyvar card.
Okay,
Hey.
sorry. I said it's good. I'm immediately not thinking this as a commander, sorry.
This is a good commander with just a bunch of big creatures. You're in mono green. We just talked about that with Kona, with putting down giant creatures. Put
No.
those creatures onto the field. Then get Tyvar down. This is an ability you can spend immediately because you don't need to tap Tyvar. Boom. Whatever the biggest creature is, now your whole board's that. On top.
I get where you're coming from.
And another thing, it doesn't say only use one turn. So just do it again and again and again.
Yeah,
It's pretty good. It's pretty
that's
good.
all. Those are all
No.
things you could do.
I mean, that like if you're saying do it again and again and again, cool. So now we're talking about having a ton of mana or having infinite mana. It's like, why not just play some? No, man. Like, there's so many better things you can do.
But that's cool.
Like, he's 3, the ability's 5, that's 8 mana. I'd rather just go wide with tiny elves and make, like, just throw a Crater Hoof in. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
just
kind of like Critter Hub at home, huh?
not even. I mean, they
Hey.
just get the power. They don't even get trample.
Who cares? This is crazy. You don't think you can give trample and green? This is nuts, man. You spend 5 mana. Let's say your highest power is just a 5/5. Oh well, spend 5 mana. If you have multiple mana, all right, we're gonna do this 2 times. You spend 5 mana, everything gets +5/+5. Now your highest power is 10. That's a 10. So you do that again, everything gets another 10.
I
Crazy.
get it, Hunter. It's exponential.
Yeah, nuts.
No.
Steven, this card's nuts, but it's going to be nuts in my Kona deck because that's where it is. I put it in Kona.
I mean, sweet, man. Can't wait to kill it.
Got the ability where you can tap stuff.
I know. We just talked about that.
You better have something else on there. You better hope to God Kona's not tapped when this comes out, and this is the only thing.
Let's move on to the grades. This is a quick one. I feel like I'm the highest on Tyvar. I'm gonna give this a B.
You are the highest.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm gonna give this a D. I love elf style decks, but this is not it.
Man, my eyes went both direction for you guys. Still middle of the road for me, man. Come on. C.
Tyvar the Pummeler gets the average grade of a C. And the final monocolored card we're talking about today is actually no color at all. It's Marvin, Murderous Mimic. 2 generic mana for a 2/2 legendary artifact creature toy. It says it has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as this creature. That's crazy because we're playing EDH. So like
Singleton format? What?
yeah,
Perfect commander card.
it is.
It's perfect if
Is
you're
this
like
a good
Steven.
commander?
Yeah, I don't know. You like doing combos? Steven, you like doing combos?
I mean, I do, but not in colorless.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward, right?
I mean, it's not awkward. There's tons of fun things to do, man. I mean, like, Eldrazi's come to mind.
That's one.
For me, I love this card a lot, but I love this card in the 99 of decks. I don't really feel like I want to play this as the commander. It is very fun though, but it didn't really scratch that itch for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's very good. Let me rephrase. I think it's good. Not very good, but I think it's good enough to see play. I like the fact that you can combo off and make infinite mana, and then you can cast all your big Eldrazi very cheap, very easily.
It's true.
But you are colorless, like you said, Steven, and that is the big concern to me as well.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about it a lot. Card draw wins games. There's not a ton of card draw in colorless. I mean, it's just the protection's not really there to a certain extent. I mean, or at all. Sure, go super mana positive and get a bunch of infinite colorless mana and cast an Eldrazi or 2 or 3 or 4 if you have a really good hand. I don't know, man.
Someone's
A
building this
murderous mimic, okay?
murderous.
It's scary.
Scurry.
Yeah, this doesn't really do it for me though. Like, I can see the power, can acknowledge the power. Won't play with the power though.
Exactly.
It
what I was-
just it
I was about
screams
to-
one thing.
Yeah, combo.
Walking Ballista.
Oh well, that too. Yeah.
Sure. I was gonna say the same thing, Shane. I can see the potential. It just doesn't scratch that itch for me. Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. We will start with you, Steven.
It's a C.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. Marvin for me is a C as well.
Yeah. Since I can't really say otherwise, it's a C.
Well, Marvin, Murderous Mimic, gets the average grade of a C. And that is going to do it for us today. If you guys liked that video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Comment down below. Did you guys agree with these grades? Maybe we missed a point completely. Always interested to hear your guys' opinions down there in the comment section. Check the description for links to all of our social media accounts, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, at Guys of Magic for each one. Follow us on those as well. On the screen right now, those are all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your added support. It really does mean the world to us. If you guys wanted to check out what they're seeing, which is not here on YouTube, check the link in the description as well for our Patreon and consider subscribing. And until the next video, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.